about tennis. When I think of big corporate deals being made, or even just friendly outings between company execs, what comes to mind is always the trip out to the country club or to a nice restaurant or bar, in combination with a game of golf, racquetball, or tennis. I've been posing this observation to many of my friends casually for some time and have always been met with agreement. I believe the familiarization with these sports through television programming and movies is why I and others are under this impression that golf, racquetball, and tennis are the sort of like trifecta of corporate socialization and fitness. Several summers of working maintenance at a golf course in high school and taking advantage of the employee benefits that I received at free golf have made me a formidable golfer, and countless hours spent at the YMCA and Michigan Tech's SDC have honed my racquetball skills to a surgical edge. However, the game of tennis is an unfamiliar beast to me. My trifecta theory may or may not be valid, but regardless, tennis is a game that I would like to add to my retinue of college and someday professional life activities. The purpose of this project will be to enlighten myself on the rules and etiquette of tennis, as well as tennis culture. My quest for information began with a book on how to build your own tennis court. It seemed like as logical a place as any to start, and it was the only book I got from the library that from the cover looked like it might have lots of big pictures. It was quite obvious from flipping through the book that by build your own tennis court, the author means to say, this is what the large crew of workmen you're going to hire will spend hours on your property doing, which is smoking lots of cigarettes, building the style of tennis court you've selected from the information in the beginning of the book. I suppose, to do it justice, if indeed you do own an industrial concrete mixer or asphalt machine, grader, bulldozer, and a bunch of other heavy equipment and tools, it really does show you how to do what I assume is every aspect of building and maintaining concrete, asphalt, clay, grass, synthetic, fast dry, grit, and platform tennis courts. The information was not limited to the actual court either. There was information on how to fence in your tennis court, or build one of a variety of buildings to cover it, as well as how to ventilate any of those buildings, and run plumbing through them and electricity. The advantages of having a sauna and or hot tub on the premise are also covered, as well as how to select the model of sauna and or hot tub that would be right for your facilities. Apart from being a comprehensive guide to selecting a court type with instructions on how to build each and maintain them, and any other features and buildings you could ever want, it also went in depth into the process of financing a court, setting up the court as a partnership deal, and how it will affect your property value and your property taxes. Obviously, zoning regulations, deed restrictions, and building permits are covered as well. In summary, the book is very much the perfect guide for anyone who wants to have a tennis court in their yard, public park, or country club, whether he or she is the ultimate do-it-yourselfer or the plan is to contract the work out. I checked out several other books from the library, and of them, only one other one was of any value to me as a beginner. It was titled Tennis, and it seemed to be some kind of textbook, complete with homework problems you could work in the back. This book really seemed to have all the information I was actually looking for. The stated purpose of the book was to educate the beginner, which is what I consider myself. It did seem to have sufficient depth to be a valuable resource to an intermediate player as well. On the first page of the first chapter, which was titled, What is Tennis Like?, was what I considered to be one of the most interesting pieces of information I found in all of my research for this project. And that was that the center of the net is actually 6 inches lower than the net is on the sides near the post. The academic sources I looked at for this project were all statistical analysis papers on different aspects of tennis. For instance, do softer balls reduce serving dominance? And is there statistical significance to the idea of home court advantage? While sort of interesting, none of this was very important to the goals of my project. Perhaps the most inspiring of all my resources was my interview with Spencer Payne, who comprised one half of the #1 doubles team for his Class A high school. Spencer told me that he counted his success in high school varsity tennis as one of his crowning achievements of his high school career. While he does not have any collegiate tennis aspirations, he does see himself playing the game casually for as long as he can, and is open to the possibility of playing some amateur tournaments in the future. His advice to me as an aspiring leisure player was to enjoy the game, encourage others' interest in the game, and always respect the rules and observe etiquette. When asked to summarize the game, he had this to say:
It's a healthy activity you can enjoy for a lifetime.
In addition to the knowledge I picked up, doing research for this project has given me a good feel for what information exists on tennis. For a person in my position, just trying to familiarize himself with the game, books written with that purpose in mind seem to be most beneficial. My interview with Spencer Payne gave me a good feel for the sentiments one can develop for the game. My academic sources address some interesting ideas, but really contain nothing particularly relevant to my goals. I got the feeling that the purpose of those articles had more to do with showcasing the mathematical methods and less to do with solving the mysteries of tennis. I suspect it's acceptable to finish this movie with, in conclusion, so I will. In conclusion, while I was quite enthusiastic about adding tennis to the retinue of my activities before this project, the information has quite possibly doubled that interest. Perhaps someday, at a bar, still sweaty from the 3 sets I just played with a coworker, my laser matrix racket and can of anti-magnetograv balls still out in my hover car in the parking lot, I will think back to the research paper I did my sophomore year in college that inspired me to win Wimbledon for 7 consecutive years.